I would be going from A to B. Always from A to B. The bit in between did not matter to me. I just needed to get away from where people were, because someone might come up to me and say hello. Someone might smile at me, and I didn't know how to return a smile. I didn't know why. Smiles were weird. I still have a problem with smiling. If people smile at me, it's like, how am I supposed to reply to this? It's one of the larger suburbs, or whatever you call it. Yeah, it's like the thing is, the pavements are going with. The pavements don't have drop curb, which is in. Oh, they do around the corner. It is annoying when they don't have the drop curbs. Washer Wall Street. Oh my God, I remember Washer Wall Street. The thing is, all of this was. There's a lot more trees here. These trees were not here when. This was just a green area, and there wasn't, no one parked in that. That was all green area there, where people just played. So they've covered off some of the green area with parking. I mean, back in the 70s and that, not many people had cars around here. I am so amazed at this place, and I am always so amazed at how did people know that I was not normal, that I was freaking autistic. What's over here? Oh. Well, that's a bad place. No, we won't. We'll have to go. I was going to go that side, but there's a car right there, just where I was going to go. Car with no wheels. Yay. Maybe it's not as. It is a much better condition. This place is. You don't see the gangs. In here. All this place was paved. Didn't have tarmac, it was all paved when I lived here. Proper pavements. I damaged quite a lot of those pavements. I used to want to know what was underneath them. Yeah. Never listen to your sister when she tells you that there's little tiny people who only come out at night and make the lights work and everything, and they live in the cracks in the pavement. I was very literal. I took things literally. God, yeah. Over here used to be our primary trust doctor's place. Just here, it's all been taken down. And next to it was an old people's home, which had lots of little areas. It was a great big building, and around it you could hide in places. You're noticing the theme, aren't you? That I noticed so many places were places to hide away from people. Away from people. Now this house on the corner here, they had a wonderful, gorgeous Alsatian. I mean, this green is where one of the houses here, I'm not going to go up to the house that I was, but this green was one of the places where I lived. And I spent a lot of time in here. and around these people. They've changed a lot of things and they've added these. Wow, that's a big, you'll notice that there, that's a great big telecommunication thing. They don't usually put them just out in the open like that. So, this is kind of weird. This is where I spend almost 20 years of my life. And Dawlish Drive over there was the big place where people would hang out. Of course, when I got into the time when I started to be more social was another thing that was leveraged. When I started phone freaking and doing that kind of thing, and doing all that kind of thing, that allowed me to interact with people. It really did allow me to interact with people easier. It's changed so much. The co-op is still there though. Oh my god, I remember the co-op. My mum used to take me to the co-op because every Wednesday, I think it was, they put out all the stuff that was damaged, all the stuff that was thingy on the big tables in the centre. And my mum always gave me a list of stuff to grab as soon as it opened up. Because everybody would try to grab the cheap stuff because there wasn't much money. And so we all thingied it. They don't have this central area anymore over there. It's been turned into a neighbourhood centre. First girl I kissed lived here, around here. Not a relationship or anything, it was just, I was in the school play, which was a mistake. Oh my god. I remember I was in the school play at my high school. And the thing is this. I'm just going to have a drink. I was supposed to be playing, it was a comical version of Star Wars. And I was supposed to be playing R2-D2, but R2-D2 who was sleepy all the time. Now the moment they asked me to start being able to snore, I couldn't snore. I knew how you're supposed to sound when you snore, but as soon as they freaking mentioned it, as soon as they said, oh, you've got to do this, it was like my brain just decided to fracture and say, no, you can't. So yeah, that's the putting a autistic person on the spot and their brain just deciding things. For the entire listening and reading of the line, I could not do that. Let's get back on the road. Now, I'm sad about this because at the bottom of Hopley Road there is one of the nicest places to buy takeout, traditional basic takeout. We're talking chips. They do all the normal pies and everything, but they also do braised beef and pork and bacon sandwiches and everything, and it is fucking good. Someone go past. I'm not staying on the road, on the pavement though, because now normally when I used to come out here on the Quingo last year, I would treat myself to a steak and chips. Braised steak, they did braised steak with gravy and onions and chips all together in a big plastic container. And I would also get the same for the dog. Of course, being diabetic, I can't have that food anymore. It doesn't go well with me. I tested it. Oh my God, this is where the guy I knew that knew all the electronics and introduced me to phone freaking. Oh my God, that was a long time ago. 45, 46 years ago. We didn't get hit by the sun. I thought we would, but it must have been a slightly different angle. This was one of the places when I was on the Quingo, when I first coming through here and exploring, that I almost hit a child with the Quingo. And it reminded me about what happens with children when they run on the road, because I was on the pavement and they had hedges at their house, and this child just ran straight out in front of me, like 1 foot in front of me. I just managed to actually put the brakes on, basically by just releasing the thingy and stopping. It scared the hell out of me. And I just thought, my God, if this kid had run another 2-3 foot onto the road and there'd been a car there, that kid would have been dead. At the bottom of the bank where Twig Street is, and Twig Street Chippy. Cross over onto here. Don't look like that car's actually up on the pavement and probably will get past them, but we're going to try. Come on. Yeah, I can do it. It always takes the batteries down to about 50% going up there. It's all hills going up there. Like I was saying about Stoke-on-Trent, everything is hills. We're going to go down here and take the crossing across. Yep. So yeah, Twig Street Fish and Chip Shop is over there, just over there. So yeah, if you're ever in Stoke-on-Trent and in Benton, bottom of Betterley, get yourself something from there. The food is gorgeous. And eat it for me, because I can't have it anymore. Ah. Okay, let's cross over here. Take this corner here because it's just... So the thing is, when they say that the Quingo can go 55 miles, that is on a perfectly straight, flat area. When you're going places like this, you are much more in the half that range. When you're going uphill, and you saw all the time I was on the roads, I was going at full 8 mile an hour, and all the way it was always climbing. So I'm actually going to be pushing that batteries quite hard because I'm going to go up into Hanley. I am going to take the Hanley route. Just going to stop and have a little drink. We've gone about almost 10 miles in total. That's crazy. Oh. This is nice. So, that's where I grew up, as an autistic child who didn't know he had autism. I also went through some really fun stuff there. Like, I lived in a squat for almost 2 years. Because Bentley had a lot of drugs, and it had a circular situation basically. You had a lot of people who would... We lived in a squat, so people would come in and out. I lived in the corner basically, and I had one of the only rooms, and people avoided me because I was strange and weird and did weird things. And spent a lot of my time sitting in the corner sharpening a a long combat knife, a survival knife. Yeah.